What's up, guys? Nolan here. Bit of a makeover on the channel out of protest of what's been happening, which I'll get into. I have removed Tarkov from my name. And yeah, this is like the 30th time I'm trying to record this and I still haven't been figured out how to word this. Because the problem here is I don't think this like genuinely is that big of a deal. But before you click off, let me explain. In my understanding of how these things work, having worked in games before, I understand the concept of what they're going for here. And I've explained it before. There are hundreds of thousands of us playing this game. There is a significant portion of us that have only paid for that game once, and it was years ago. If BSG as a company, whatever their financials are, want to continue making games, want to continue staying in business, which of course they do, they need to make more money. And as they've always done, they have been, getting it a bit over their head. They've bitten off more than they could chew with the servers, with the netcode, with the game engine, with cheaters, with everything. They are now here, close to release, and they are obviously trying to figure out how they can make some money back, because the whole point here is they are supposed to be trying to earn money so that they can make their next game. For those who don't know, this was not the plan. Russia 2028 was the plan. Their next game was their plan. They were going to build Escape from Tarkov in order to make money to make their next game. And now it's been almost 10 years for them in total. I don't know what the financials look like. I know everybody and their mother loves to talk about like cheaters buying accounts and stuff like that. As far as I know, it could be on like stolen credit cards and stuff like that. I don't know the financials. I am completely ignorant to that stuff. I don't know how that actually works. Everybody seems to do their research and everybody seems to talk like they know that they're right, or that they seem to be right. I don't understand that stuff anymore, and that's part of the problem. I'm not in a position to defend anything that BSG is doing because I don't have the ammunition to do it. I just try to understand why they're doing what they're doing. And coming from somebody that plays Star Citizen, I've spent well over $5,000 since 2016 on Star Citizen. But it was on stuff that I always seem to understand. It's supporting the game. It's supporting the technology. And if you guys don't understand what's going on with that, I'll divert, because I have a Star Citizen channel too, by the way. Shameless plug there. If you don't believe me, if you want to, and maybe you don't like Asmongold, but Asmongold did a video where he talked about it before, and you could see people's chat reactions and stuff like that. That might do a better job of what I can do. But the TLDR on that side of things is we've always understood Star Citizen to be not a game that's in development, but technology, to be like the future of gaming in development. And at least personally, that's what I've seen, and my closest friend group that's into the game, that's the way that we've seen it. And we've seen it as investing into the future, and it's now looking to be that way. They have that tech working. We have now played with it. This next major patch is going to have pieces of it, and then later this year we're thinking, or at least it's looking like it's going to show up into the game. So that's different. That's a different thing. But what I'm trying to say is I'm completely open to understanding what a game wants to do and investing in that game and helping them achieve their goal of what they want to do with that game. That's fine. And before we go too much further too, I did want to say I have been talking to Nikita when I did this announcement up on Twitter. People were saying, "Oh, how brave," and stuff like that. I can't always, I'm trying to be as professional as possible about this stuff. I'm still learning how this stuff works. I'm not trying to be impulsive here, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that the point is getting across here. I am talking to BSG. I'm talking to Nikita. I'm getting my point across. There's communication going on. Whether they're actually going to make any changes is yet to be seen. But I am doing what I can to actually put my opinion out there and put my thoughts out there. And based off of those discussions and based off of my own feeling of how this stuff panned out, I've removed Tarkov from my name on YouTube, and it is not coming back. Tarkov in the name is not coming back. NoiceGuy Tarkov is gone. NoiceGuy is staying. And I will cover Escape from Tarkov into the future. But that is not me anymore. I am not NoiceGuy Tarkov anymore. I am just NoiceGuy. That is going to be my protest, at least my public protest, about what's happening. Because what I think they should have done is they should have spliced this out. There needed to be other ways for people to access this. I think that this is the wrong direction to go. And it's from multiple ways. It's from the fact that if you're a new player, you have to pay $250 to gain access to that stuff. The game mode that maybe you're not into PvP. You're trying to get something that since the beginning, hell, the original plan of the game was to no longer wipe. How many thousands of people have been waiting for that? And I don't know if you guys see exactly what I see, but when I see in the comments over the last 5 years that I've been doing this, is a lot of people are asking, when do wipes stop? When am I going to stop losing my progression? And that because that's always been part of the plan. Wipes were not part of the plan. They were part of the development process because they needed to change things. Yes, they're fun. I'm glad that wipes are staying because that's a big part of the gameplay. But also at the same time, there's a lot of people that were here because not because of wipes, but because they want to finish the story. They want to escape from Tarkov and they don't want to lose their progress. And that's now behind not just a $45 game, not just a $95 game, not a $100 game or $105, whatever that one is, not $145, not $150 because they've increased it. No, $250. $250 for that, even though it was part of the original plan. And there were previous editions that when you bought them years ago said that they were going to include DLC. I fell for it for Arena, but where this is such a unique part of the game, I'm not buying it. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm not getting into that. This feels genuinely like and what sucks is like the reason why I hadn't posted anything is because I've gotten in trouble before for being impulsive. Like I wanted to give this time. I wanted to ask BSG, and now I don't know. I think about haters too much. I think about feedback probably too. I want to know how to change this. I want to know how to improve. How can I do this stuff better? How can I don't know. How can I improve? And I go to feedback, and there's a lot of haters. There's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about. And sometimes I take the wrong people too seriously. But I don't know. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. It doesn't feel good. Where I was going with that a second ago, because it keeps kind of hitting me in waves, because it just doesn't feel like. And at the end of the day, like, I'm going to move on. This isn't crazy. This isn't going to ruin my life or anything like that. It's just that this having been so close to this dev team and loving this game, I think about it constantly. Even if I don't play it constantly, I have thousands of hours in it. I obsess over this game. I wouldn't be able to do this kind of stuff without it. And for those who don't know, all of this information is just constantly swirling in my brain. So I write scripts, but I don't research. I mean, if it needs research, if it's something new, or if I need to check in on something, I will always try my best to get the best information. But a lot of this stuff, if you ever come into a stream and you ask me something about Tarkov, I'm going to have it off the top of my head. It's just, I love this game. And as a fan, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like something that I should be like, as much as I understand the economy behind it, or the economics behind it, as much as I understand that they're a business, as much as I understand, I want to see what they have planned. I want their other games to be funded so that we can see what they have planned, because at its core, even though they fumbled with the choice of the engine, even though I get why. I understand why they fumbled with that, because they were a small team and that's what the team knew. So they stuck with what they knew. They'd rather go with that than have to go into something else. And this was also 10 years ago. And I have a few videos talking about that stuff. So there's a lot of this stuff that's messing, because I can understand why they made the decisions that they made. So I understand let's make a badass, crazy thing that people are going to want to buy. However, the problem is there is a significant portion of their community that has already spent $150 on Edge of Darkness. Think about how many times you see a yellow name. I think there's a lot of us that probably think the yellow name is just kind of common. That's a yellow name for the person that's killed you, yellow name of the person name in the lobby, stuff like that. That's all people that have Edge of Darkness. They weren't going to be paying. We weren't going to be paying another dime. So, in respect to BSG, those are people that they still need. That's their player base. They still need to find a way to get money from that player base if they are trying to get money from their players. So obviously Arena didn't work. Obviously these cosmetics didn't work. I bought them. I don't know how many of you guys bought. I bought them. I wanted the cosmetics. Obviously the larger stash didn't work. I'm not going to go into details. I'm still trying to be respectful here. I'm still trying to be proper here in terms of relationships and what gets said, what doesn't get said publicly and stuff like that. But I will say I asked them about like what's going on with like subscription method, like why haven't you done that? Why didn't you piece it out differently? Stuff like that. So that's the kind of conversation, that's the kind of questions that are being asked privately. We'll see what happens. We'll see what changes, and we'll see what I can even. I'll ask them for permission to talk about this stuff in the future, because I'm still trying to be respectful here. So they needed something that would sell. They needed something that would make money, and it went a bit too far. There's still the obligations and the promises that were made years ago. And what's really, really difficult about all of this is we don't actually understand the financials that they actually are dealing with. We don't know if the reason why Nikita keeps showing up with Balenciaga on, and he's got that Mercedes AMG or whatever, is because he's taken the money that he's earned previously and then he's invested it and stuff like that. Or if it's just that's BSG's money and they're loaded and they're trying to invest, or they're trying to fund a dozen different games into the future instead of just one. Even though we don't know what's going on with that. We don't actually know what we're investing into. We don't know what that money's going to and stuff like that. We don't actually know if that's a significant problem, or if they need this money to just get to launch. We don't know what this is for. And I would feel differently if that was the case. But at the same time, if they did like a subscription method or something, I would also, I would pay $15 a month in a heartbeat for this game. Because I understand the concept of the game, even with Edge of Darkness. Because of how this has worked out, because of the early access system that they've decided to go with. It's now been 10 years. I haven't paid a dime other than, when they put up Arena, and then when they put up the stash increase and they put the cosmetics and stuff like that. They obviously need more cash. I would have done a subscription method. I would have done different things. But this is too much. An extra $100 for stuff that was supposed to be a part of the game and unique gameplay features that are absolutely a giant benefit. I understand that people think that Gamma is pay to win. I understand that people think the extra stash base is pay to win, the extra, all that stuff. You guys have, I'm not deleting that video from earlier. You can go and get my perspective on the information that we had from the original patch notes if you want. That's not going anywhere. I still feel the same as I did for those original patch notes. But what ended up happening was they released what the actual game version gets you, and it was more in there. There was hidden stuff in there. There is a flare that you're going to be able to call in during a raid and have your buddies come in and spawn on you and help. They are adding respawns into the game, and it's behind a paywall. That radio thing, the Mark of the Unheard or whatever they ended up calling it, it's going to allow you to not be shot at by scavs, and it's behind a paywall. That doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I get it. You're trying to get more money. I would gladly give you more money, but there's some things as as a nerd, as a gamer, as a fan, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. So, I will still be covering Escape from Tarkov, but NoiceGuy Tarkov is no more. It's just NoiceGuy. Might be fucking myself over here. Might be overreacting still. I genuinely, just to be clear in conclusion here, I really don't think this is a big a deal. You either buy it or you don't. I kind of, maybe hope's the wrong word. Hope, for lack of a better word, hope. Like most of us don't buy it. In terms of being able to create content for the game, to be able to show you what it looks like on that side of things, I'll scrape together the cash and I'll get it. Doesn't feel right saying that, but I'm genuinely like, I don't know what to feel about it. It feels wrong. It just doesn't feel right. I think if this goes quote unquote well for them, I think it goes down the slippery slope. I've said everything I want to say. I'm gonna go in circles right now because like I said, doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. I'm not really sure what to say. But that's the reason for the makeover. And I will still be covering Escape from Tarkov, as well as Gray Zone Warfare, Beautiful Light, We the People, Road to Vostok, and any others that I think that you guys who are fans of Escape from Tarkov would enjoy watching. And I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. Maybe it won't. Right now, I'm putting plans in place that if this channel does not improve in terms of viewership and in terms of support monetarily for myself, in combination with the streams, in combination with the other channels, whether that be Star Citizen or Broken Arrow or whatnot, I'll level with you guys. It's YouTube has been very rough. YouTube has been very rough the last few months. It's starting to get to the point where I'm not going to be able to make a living from doing this stuff. So I am going to be in the same boat as BSG here, where I'm trying to scramble to figure out what do I do to sustain a living doing this stuff. I think the route is going to be Patreon. I'm trying to figure out a viable way of doing that, a real way of doing that. Not just blind support, but you guys actually get benefit from it, and it's tough. I wish I had some kind of like artistic brain or something like that would be able to help me maybe get like merch or something like that, but I don't know. But if things don't turn around and this fucking roller coaster that is doing content for games and YouTube and the social media side of things doesn't change, there's gonna be a flashback from last year, because this is rough. This is rough. I don't have a life. My life is these games, and it keeps weird shit and like bad shit keeps happening. I don't like it. So hopefully we can figure it out. Hopefully there's some changes. NoiceGuy out. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you have a nice day.